Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportBikeTracker.com, and today we're going to do a product review on the Arai Defiant X Helmet. The Arai Defiant X Helmet sells for $593 up to $728. Depends on if you're going with a solid color or one of the kick-ass graphics. Please understand we don't update videos for pricing changes, only if the helmet itself has been completely redesigned. This is kind of a purpose-built helmet. With that said, it is at home in more than one place, okay? The styling is really cool, right? The ventilation is really good. It's a quiet helmet. This is going to be at home on a naked bike, like an MT-07, MT-09, anything where you're kind of upright. This helmet's going to do really well in that environment. With that said, let's say you have a sport bike and you think this thing looks kick-ass. Well, it's going to do great for you there. Remember, this isn't just a helmet. This is an Arai. This package that you see here, there's a lot more than meets the eye. It's a little engineering marvel. Who is this helmet right for? I already kind of touched on that. You know, I really see this working great on more of an upright motorcycle. With that said, I'm going to repeat myself, if you dig it and you own a sport bike, it's going to do a great job there for you as well. This helmet weighs 3.55 pounds in a size medium on our digital shipping scale, which is what we see with any of the Snell certified helmets in that size in the premium category. It'll either be Snell 2015 or Snell 2020 certified. They're in the process right now of updating the new certification up to the new certification, or submitting them for testing for the new certification. As I understand it, the helmet is basically unchanged. The Arai was capable of passing either one of the tests without any significant modifications of any kind. So whichever one you get, you're going to get yourself a really safe helmet. Let's talk interior shape and fit. This is built to their intermediate oval head shape, which is the most common one here in North America. I measure 58 centimeters on the button with an intermediate oval head shape, and I got to tell you, I get an incredible fit from this helmet. I have not yet ridden this model. I've ridden the Signet X, the Quantum X, and the Corsair X. This one and the new Region X I have not yet ridden in. My expectations are the performance of this is going to be very similar to what we found with the Quantum and the Signet due to the way that it's set up. 58 centimeters, medium, fits great, intermediate oval head shape. Take a measurement, okay? Before you just pull the trigger on a helmet, especially something this expensive, this is a real investment here. Get yourself a good measurement. If you don't have a cloth tape like this, you can use a string that doesn't stretch just above the eyebrows, get the circumference, use a steel tape to then translate that to the size chart we have on the website for the Arai helmets. The size chart works really good, and our staff is always here to help you choose the best possible size and fit for yourself. Also important to have an understanding of your head shape. Intermediate oval is slightly longer front to back than it is side to side. Once again, you can kind of see that in the mirror, and it is the most common head shape here in the US. Glasses compatibility, this thing, like the rest of the Arai models, does a fantastic job. It's easy to get the glasses in. They sit right on your nose and easy to pull out. Okay, let's do a little feature and benefit breakdown. Let's start off with ventilation. That's one of the key points with any helmet. We have switchable vents on the top of the helmet here. These are the largest intake vents, multi-positional. They feel really tight, nice action on them. The brow vents that are built into the shield, these are fully functional. There's some duct work behind that we're going to show you in the second part of this video. They are very effective, and they basically introduce air right into the temple area, and it really helps to cool the rider down. Now you also have, and this is an aggressive styling point too, the intake vents here on the chin. These serve two purposes, okay? Inside the helmet, and hopefully we're able to catch this on camera, can you see those two red switches? When they're in the closed position and you see all red, they're going to then divert the air so it demists the shield. While we're talking about the shield, this comes with a pin lock insert in the box. Install it on the shield, you're going to get tremendous fog-free performance. So when you see red and they're closed, it blows air up onto the shield. When you open them by simply sliding them over, it's now going to allow air to enter the helmet in the mouth area there to cool you down there. The chin curtain on this helmet is fixed. This is a Venturi vent right here. This is the exhaust portion. The intake portion for this vent is found right here. It collects air from up into the eye port area and sucks it out the back of the helmet. That's something that they've basically taken from the Corsair X and integrated into the Defiant X to help manage ventilation, because this design here in the chin is different than we see with the Quantum X or the Signet, which offer a very effective ventilation package. And they wanted to make sure that this helmet ventilated at a high level, so they added that ductwork and the Venturi vent from the Corsair X. The helmet also offers an exhaust vent here in the back that is, once again, switchable. All the way to the right is full open. In the center is half. All the way over to the left is closed. More exhaust venting is found here, Venturi effect. What happens is at speed, air draws over that, creates suction inside the low pressure, and it sucks out the heat and moisture to keep the rider cooler and comfortable. The base of the neck roll, you're also going to see this vent that's built in. This is kind of a rubberized material, so it keeps it comfortable. You don't feel this hard block at the back of the neck roll, right? You can see these intake vents here in these areas and the exhaust here. At speed, air is dragging over this. Once again, Venturi effect. There are 3 holes that I can feel that are on the back side of the neck roll. This pocket that is found in between the bottom of the EPS and the top liner and the top of the neck roll, heat and moisture can collect there. This helps to suck that out of the back of the helmet. That is some really kick-ass engineering that Arai has built into this. 5 different shell sizes. Extra small has its own shell. Small is shell number 2. Medium and large share one shell. This is a medium that we're showing you here on the table so you can get a sense of the external size. Extra large has its own, so does 2X. While we're on the topic of shells, these are literally handmade in Japan by real craftsmen. We have an example here of an old Corsair shell. This is from 2010. And the reason that I want to show this is, look at all the different materials that go into this. This isn't just a bunch of ground up fiberglass and resin, okay? They have strategically placed in certain areas different materials to tune the rigidity of this shell to best protect the rider. To back that up, you have a multi-density EPS. This isn't just a hunk of foam like an old McDonald's Big Mac container that's blown in there, right, to act as a crumple zone. They're once again tuning the energy management. You can see the different colors represent different densities of EPS material, and you can see there are several at work in here, a total of 5 that you can clearly see. So tons of engineering and technology go into this helmet, and you find that even in their Defiant X. The shield system. It includes the pin lock insert, which is nice. We're going to show you how to change this. It has a shield lock that's built in. Push it down. It's in the lock position. To release it, lift up on this tab and then pull up. Let's say you want to drop down inner screens. Some of the other brands are offering, a lot of the other brands are offering drop down inner screens. Arai will not do it. They feel it compromises the safety of the helmet because it totally changes the engineering of the helmet. You now have to have a pocket for this thing to float up and down with. So what do you need? You need maybe that much room, right? So what do? Do you hog that out of the EPS? Do you make the external shell bigger? They wouldn't do it. They feel it compromises the safety, and they also believe that safety is the primary reason for wearing the helmet, with comfort and rider experience being the second most important thing. The ProShade system is a clear shield that is purpose-built to accept an external drop-down tinted visor on a hinge-mounted system. It accepts the pin lock insert for fog-free performance, and it still has the shield vents built into it, so you're not losing anything. You're also not losing any safety. You're able to then, it's a little easier to do when it's on the helmet, to be quite honest with you, but you're able to fold it down. It does not touch the outer shield, so it's not scratching anything. Like I said, the vents still work here. Instead of folding down, now they're lifting up. Raise it in the upward position, and there is a nice detent there, right, that locks it in place so that when you put it up, it stays up, right? I've ridden with this quite a bit. It's a really effective tool. It does create a little more noise in the upward position, right? At the end of the day, it's not a big deal. You know, this really comes down to just their overall philosophy. They refuse to compromise anything internal in the helmet, and you really have to respect that. Shield swap on the Arai Defiant X Helmet. Need to start off in the upwardmost position. Arai really did a good job on this mechanism. This is the best one they've ever had. It's a real move forward, and they're using it on all their current models right now. Get your shield all the way in the up position. If you look here in the side pod area on both sides, you're going to see a little trigger with an arrow that tells you to pull it backwards. I like to kind of set the helmet on the table, rest it against your abdomen, and then I'll pull back on both of these triggers. The side pods will now pop off. You make sure you press back firmly, and they'll kind of lock themselves into position. You can feel when you release it whether or not they move forward. You get the side pod hanging like that, and then you just kind of turn the shield like that, and it literally jumps right off the helmet. It's really pretty simple. To reinstall it, you need to line up this little brass insert with this open space here on the shield ratchet system. About in that position. It dips in that hole, rotate it up, you hear a nice audible click. Get your shield cover, you'll find a tab here at the top. It dips in right there in that pocket from top to bottom. Push, you hear an audible click. That side is done. Come over to the other side, kind of rotate it around till it dips in. Click, side pod, push down. Before you go out and ride in it, what I like to do is actuate it a couple of times, up and down, all the way. Make sure everything is good to go. What's really nice with these too is they built in a tether system to those side pods. If you have misinstalled your shield, and let's say your side pod does pop off, it is not going to fly off while you're riding. That is a challenge that we used to have with Arai helmets way back in the day, and that has fortunately been completely corrected with this latest system. Okay, now we've hit the point where I'm going to completely disassemble the helmet and give you a closer look from the inside out. One of the cool features we're going to be able to show you now are the peel away layers that are built into both the top pad and the cheek pads. What those allow you to do is, let's say you get the helmet, you've broken the helmet in and it's still just a little tight in the cheek pad or up in the temple area, you're literally able to remove the liner, peel away some of the foam that is just strategically glued on in segments so you can pull the layers away to help open those areas up and tune the fit to personalize it for your own preference. Okay, we'll start off in the upward position. Release the shield, grab your little side pod triggers, fold away, roll the shield off, like so. The chin curtain on the Defiant X is fixed. That is not able to be removed. This helmet's assembled a little differently than the other Arai helmets that we've shown you. In order to release the cheek pads, you need to get in between the back of the cheek pad here. Let me show you where I'm working right here. The back of the cheek pad and the outer shell of the helmet. And I want you to put pressure in to release it from the EPS, working your finger in behind it and putting pressure on the rear of the cheek pad. Once you've released it, you then need to fold it over and take the tab that is part of the neck roll and release it from the little pocket that is built into the cheek pad. Well, we have the first one out. Let's give you a close-up look as to why it comes out that way. This tab slides into the chin bar area, okay, and it locks in. That's why it has to dip in from the back. The other helmets are assembled differently, where the tab dips into the rearward portion of the EPS and has a little clip up front here that locks in. So a little different assembly and disassembly process with this. These cheek pads are special. This is not just a piece of foam. There are multiple materials that go into creating the Arai cheek pad. And one thing I really want to call some attention to is the front portion of this cheek pad. Notice this isn't just fixed here, okay? This is floating to help give you the best possible on-off experience while maintaining comfort and that cradling effect that Arai is famous for. How they get there I can show you by removing the cover, is by using several different materials, and that there is a plastic backing that's in here that has a spring-like effect to it. And you can see, look at all the different densities in the cheek pad foam that are used here. The peel-away layer is the one on the outermost portion of the cheek pad foam. If you intend to install a universal Bluetooth, that layer of foam, you're able to peel that away. The pocket is built into the EPS backing of the cheek pad. This is really, like, when you look at this and you compare this to the other cheek pads on the market, there is a tremendous difference from the Arai to the competition. Continuing forward, we need to remove the other cheek pad from the helmet. Same process, get towards the back, roll it out, release that from the pocket, like so. Slide it over the chin strap. The neck roll is removable. I want you to grab it like so and kind of rotate forward. It's going to come right out. That is the easiest way to get that out. Don't be pulling on that. You want to rotate it just like I showed you. The top pad, there are 2 snaps in the rear, 2 snaps in the front. What I like to do is fold it over. You can visually see them. You can also feel it when your thumb contacts it. I'm wedging it in between the EPS liner and the back of the top liner. Release the snap. Same gig in the front. This also has peel-away layers, like I showed you with the cheek pads. Those can be found in this pocket right here. If you need more room in the temple area, all you have to do is peel that bad boy away and you are good to go. Don't do that until you've ridden in the helmet long enough to understand how you feel about the fit, and give the foam a chance to break in a little. These don't break in a lot, they break in a little. So be patient with it, because what you don't want to do is pull that layer of foam out and then realize you actually do need that in place. When we have all that out, we can focus on some of the internal venting that's built in, like that duct on the side. Let me see if I can get this into position where he's able to show you. Can you see this right here? That duct is glued to the outer shell of the helmet, and you can see how it starts up here in the eye port, and then it lines up with this external vent, and that's where you get that Venturi effect from, is right back there. Another Venturi exhaust vent here. You can see the hole in the EPS for it right there. 3 holes in the EPS here correspond with the exhaust vent. 2 holes in the EPS up here towards the front correspond with the intake vents on top of the helmet. And then of course we have the ductwork right here for the vents that are going to direct air, and you can see their termination, right, is right here in this area. So it just strategically blows air onto your forehead in that area to cool you down in that temple area, which can be a really effective tool in cooling the rider, improving the experience. I think I've covered this pretty well. This is a deep dive. This is an expensive helmet. I mean, this isn't a $200 helmet or a $100 helmet. You know, you're talking a $600 to $700 investment. And I think a helmet like this deserves having appropriate time spent so that you're able to do your research and make a good decision for yourself when purchasing this. It's really important too, when you get the helmet and you get it home, leave the sticker on the shield. Wear this thing in the house long enough to understand how you feel about the fit before you take it for a ride. That way, if you need to return or exchange it, we're able to do that completely hassle-free for you. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments section of this video. I answer all that stuff myself, and I'm here to help you get the best experience from your new Arai Defiant X helmet.